Good day, everyone. Our, our proposal title is Teachers' Narratives on Implementing Universal Design for Learning or UDL Principles. I am Ron May Villanueva, and this is Chloe Bernice Pababair, and this is Shine Rada. For our background of the study is Universal Design for Learning or UDL is a framework that promotes equal access to all learning for all students with different abilities, backgrounds, and learning styles. This is from Lee et al. 2024 and Sewell et al. 2022 and Priyad, Har, Sini, and Mary 2024. Also, according to Almecdad et al. 2023 and Balta et al. 2020, UDL is based on three principles, which is representation, action, and expression and engagement. This is which supporting the diverse ways of learning. In the third bullet, this is according to Macabenta, Manubag et al. 2023 and Hill Overend and Hildebrandt 2022. In the Philippine education system, teachers face challenges in applying inclusive practice and UDL due to limited training, resources, and support. Also, um, according to Lambert et al. 2023 and Seymour 2023, many teachers use UDL related strategy without fully understanding or applying the framework constantly in their teaching. Also, according to De La Fuente Gonzalez et al. 2025 and Ducan et al. 2025 and Mackey et al. 2023, this study aims to explore each lived experiences in using UDL to improve inclusive education and guide future teacher training programs.
Moving on to the research problem, both globally and locally, teachers continue to experience challenges in applying UDL effectively. So, in global, there are lack of understanding and skills, and also lack of training, according to Hill, Overend, and Hildebrandt 2022. And in local, there are limited readiness and skills, and also the shortage of trained special education professionals. Teachers report a lack of education services, insufficient institutional support, and challenges in classroom instruction. This is according to Macabenta, Manubag, et al. 2023.
So for our papers, we represent the two types of gaps, which are contextual gap and methodological gap. So according to De La Fuente Gonzalez et al. 2025, Hills et al. 2022, it says that there is limited understanding of how UDL is actually practiced in teacher education settings. So few students explore how teachers apply UDL in real classroom. So this study aims to fill the gap by focusing on teachers' experiences. So for our methodological gap, according to Almecdad et al. 2023, Zhang et al. 2021, and Wei 2023, it is that most UDL says the country use quantitative methods, which overlook teachers' personal stories. So this study addresses that gap by using narrative inquiry to explore teachers' stories with the UDL.
So here's our research questions. This is according to Clandinin and Connelly. First is what past experience, present practices, and future aspiration do teacher narrate in relation to implementing universal design for learning? Second is in what ways do teachers' personal beliefs, values, and relationship with colleagues, administrators, parents, and students influence their experience of UDL? Third, how does the classroom and school environment shape teachers' story on enacting UDL in their practice?
So, the significance of our study can be seen in four groups. First is the teachers. They will gain insights on inclusive teaching practices using Universal Design for Learning or UDL. And then the children with special needs. They will benefit from flexible and accessible learning methods. And then the researchers. We can provide qualitative narratives for future UDL researcher. And lastly, the teacher education institutions. We can strengthen inclusive education training programs. So overall, this study, it hopes to promote inclusion and equal opportunities for all learners.
So for our scope and delimitation, it focuses on teachers in inclusive elementary school from the year of 2025 to 2026 and explores UDL implementation as experienced and narrated by teachers.
This is our theoretical framework. Our studies anchored on two main theories. First is
Muted
contrastivist
Corona.
learning theory, Piaget, and 1936, and also Brunner 1966. So this theory explained that
Excuse me,
learning
Rana. Wala
uh
kang sound. Thank you.
so the next is theoretical framework. So this study is anchored with on two main theories which is constructivist learning theory by Piaget and 1936 and Brunner 1966. So um this theory explained that learning is an active process where students build their own understanding through experience. It also supports UDL's focus on learning engagement and flexibility. The second is inclusive education theory, which is this is by Booth and Ainskow 2002. This theory promotes removing barriers and ensuring equity in education, which aligns with UDL's inclusive values of providing equal opportunities for all learners.
So for our literature review outline, our review of related literature will include first is the Understanding Universal Design for Learning. Second is UDL Principles, which is engagement, representation, and expression. Third is the teacher's practices in UDL implementation. Next is the SDA educational context and inclusivity. And lastly, the theoretical and conceptual framework supporting the study. So these topics will help build a solid foundation for understanding the narratives shared by teachers.
So for our methodology, So our study employs a narrative inquiry design by Clandinin and Cunella 2013. This is to explore the stories of teachers in implementing UDL or Universal Design for Learning. So the participants will include 5 to 10 years, 5 to 10 licensed inclusive education teachers who are selected through purpose sampling. So ensuring that those chosen have relevant experience and knowledge about UDL. And data will be collected through narrative interviews, classroom observation, and document or artifact analysis to capture teacher stories and practices from multiple perspectives. The gathered data will be analyzed using thematic and narrative analysis by Braun and Clark 2021 to identify key themes and patterns within the participants' narrative. So, to ensure the trustworthiness of the findings, the study will employ triangulation, member checking, and an audit trail by Lincoln and Guban 1985, strengthening the credibility and validity of the research process.
Thank you for listening, and I hope you can free to ask questions